Hello and welcome to another showcase of a new game that I have just designed. It is a roll and write game that uses one sheet of paper, and as you can see I have a 6 regular D6 dice and one poker uh, standard deck of poker cards that is split on the face cards, those jokers, queens, kings and aces, and regular other cards. We don't use uh, jokers in the game. Alright, so what's going on here? Let's see. Well, this is a simple dice selection action game, and we are explorers in the Forbidden Jungle where there are 4 temples. Each temple has one suit connected to it, so we have a Temple of Diamond, Temple of Clubs, Temple of Spades, and Temple of Hearts. Also, here are some actions we can do when we are exploring the jungle or trying to reach the temple, and our objective in the game really depends on the cards we're gonna draw first. So I'm gonna spawn a little table here that we're going to use so you can see the goals, and then I'm gonna explain some basic things in the game, and maybe I'm gonna do a complete playthrough later. And here we are. Due to some magic of editing, we have our gold chart. So how the game works? Well, at the beginning, as I said, you're gonna draw 3 cards from this deck, and each card's gonna represent one goal on this little chart that you need to finish to win the game. Now, in the easy game, it is enough if you finish at least 2 goals, but in the medium or hard game that I'm going to show you, you actually have to finish all 3 of them. So as you can see, I draw 1, 4, 2, and 7. We check the chart here, and we can see that number 4 is I need to fill the villages track. What's that? Well, that's this little track here. I need to find and explore up to 6 villages, and if I do that, I'm gonna get 12 points. So that's one of my goals, get those villages out. Another goal is a temple goal here. Number 2, I need to open one temple. It doesn't say which one, I just need to open one temple. I'm gonna explain how we do that. And my last goal is on the number 7. That's a score goal. I need to score at least 120 points, so that's not going to be that easy. Alright, so these are my goals, and these cards going to be locked here under this little chart, so we know what we need to do. If I finish all of 3 goals, I'm going to win the game. Now, our explorer, he is here on the map. He's starting on the campsite. We don't know what's around us. We're gonna actually roll some dice and draw terrain as we progress through the jungle. But first, and we also have, this is a representation of our explorer. He has 3 hearts, that's his health. If you lose all 3 hearts, it's game over, and then you're gonna check how many goals you've done up to that point. And also I have a lucky charm. This lucky charm I can use to cancel these bad events that's gonna happen. You see these icons all around the edge of the map. Well, you'll see how that works soon. Now, to be able to open temple, I need 5 cards of the same suit, and here are that's called the temple keys. They're in this deck. I don't know how they are placed in the deck because everything is shuffled. So there are some actions that's going to allow me to draw cards and find these keys. Now, if I want to open the club temple, as I said, I need the same suit, and the numbers must go from the lowest to the highest. Or if I go for the Temple of Diamond, I need all the diamond suits, and they need to go from the highest to the lowest card. These are little arrows that points up. So when it points up, you need to go from the lowest to the highest. When it points down, you need to go from the highest to the lowest number. Because we're going to build some tableaus here and with cards and do some stuff. Also, we get these dice. The black dice is the dice that's going to be used by the event track, and these 3 are our dice. That's what we're going to roll at the beginning of each round. You also have some dice that we can buy during the game. You'll see how that works. Alright, so let's prepare the game. First, you're going to shuffle these cards, treasure cards, and then you're going to, starting from left to right, you're going to place these cards. Let me just move this away a bit. We're going to place these cards. They're going to be treasures for each temple. So in the also you place them from left to right. The leftmost card is on top. So when you're collecting treasure, this is the first card you can collect. So Diamond Temple have these. Oh, 2 aces, 1 jack and 1 king. The Club Temple has a queen and a jack and another jack and another queen. This Spade Temple, you see, you place them here where the edge showing has a queen, has a king, jack, queen, ace, and here we have a queen, king, another king, and ace. And you can see that this is the worth of each treasure separately. So for instance, 1 jack is worth 4 points, queen is 8, king is 12, and the ace is 14. So as you can see, I probably want to open this temple of the diamond, because I can score like 14 points, then 4, but the king is also 12, so there is a large amount of points here. Or I can also try to go for the Temple of the Heart. Well, we'll see how much temples I can actually open and how can I do that. Alright, and we are ready to start the game. That's basically the whole setup. You take your little pencil and you're ready to draw on the map. Let's make this smaller. So at the beginning of each turn, first thing you're going to do, let me do this. You're gonna roll these dice. Alright, then you're gonna apply the event die, and that's this number. The value of the dice is actually to tell you how many these black spaces, this black cube is gonna move over these icons, and then it's gonna activate one of these effects. So let's do that. So the red spot are our little like explorer. You can also move over these icons and do some stuff. So let's see, this will go 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, and we start here on the star space. So the first event that's going to activate, we're going to have some vines, unpassable terrain of vines that can be moved through. So I need to take my pencil and draw those vines somewhere here on this map. I can pick any spot I want. And if I don't want to do this, if I don't want to draw vines on the terrain, I can actually spend one of my lucky clovers to cancel these lucky charms. But I'm going to draw those lines. I'm going to draw them here. So let's represent it like this. So here are unpassable terrain of vines. And that was the event. Now, the moment the event actually happens, this dice is out of the game. But if the event landed on something that I can't do, I can actually take the dice and use it as my own. Or if I cancel the event, I can, because the event didn't happen, I can again take the dice. But in this case it happens, I can't do much else. Then I'm gonna check my dice and I'm gonna decide. I have a 1 reroll, so I'm gonna decide, do I want to use this and what do I want to reroll. And I'm right now looking at this action down here. Now this is the exploration actions. As you can see, you need some dice values to be able, like I can use any dice value to explore some jungle, or I need 3 or more to explore river. I need 4 or more to find some mountains, 5 or more to get village, and 6 to find one of these sacred stones. I have a 6 and that's really good, so I'm gonna probably keep that. I need those sacred stones. And then I'm gonna check what temple I want to go for. So for instance, like if I want to open a temple of diamonds, as you can see, I need rivers, because the moment I discover the river, I can look for the clues in this deck for the diamonds, and I can start building my tableau. As you know, as I said, I need 5 cards of diamonds, and diamonds must go from higher to the lower card. So if I get like 10 of diamonds, that's really good start. Then I need a 9 of diamonds, 8, 7, 5, 6, and so on. So I probably want to discover some river, and for that I need 3 or more. So I think I'm gonna actually reroll these 2 dice. Okay, and that's my reroll that I can use. Well, another 6. Alright, so let's now use our dices. So I'm gonna use a 6 to find the sacred stone, which means I can draw one of these sacred stones adjacent to my campsite or the space I'm currently on. Well, I'm right now on my campsite and I can't move anywhere else. And by the way, for movement I can use dice. And you can move only orthogonally. There is no diagonal movement. And that's how you also draw stuff, only orthogonally. So I can draw a sacred stone orthogonally connected to my campsite, or let's say there was a territory here which I can land with my pawn, then I can also draw orthogonally from the space where my pawn is. But right now I only have these 4 spaces. So let's see, I'm gonna draw a sacred stone, and let's say I'm gonna draw it here. So here is the sacred stone. I'm just gonna make it like this, a little X. Alright, the moment I found the sacred stone, I'm gonna go to this track and I'm gonna tick one of these. So that's 1 out of 6 for 12 points I can gather. The second thing I can do, I can draw 1 card that can be placed in any tableau. So this card can be placed in my clubs. Right now, basically, I don't have any tableau, so I can start one. That's what this means. This can be any card. Otherwise, if I was drawing river, I actually have to, like if I draw spades and I need the diamonds, I just have to discard spades and look for the diamonds. Now, how do we do that? I can always draw 1 card, or I can spend a dice and draw that many cards. So for instance, if I spend a dice of 6, I can draw 6 cards and make a tableau. And I think I'm gonna do that, and because this is especially good action to do at the beginning, because I can start building some tableaus. So let's do that. I'm gonna spend a 6. I'm gonna draw 6 cards. So let's see. 1 diamond, 10 of diamonds, and I need to go from highest to lowest. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely take that. So let's see. I'm hoping for more diamonds. Now, if I take 4, I'm limiting myself because the next card must be 2, and that means I would only get 3 cards out of 5 I need to open the temple. I can get some wild ones, but I'm gonna explain how can that happen, but that's gonna be really hard. So instead of taking this card, I have to decide now, either discard or take it, because this can be put in the tableau if I want to. Whenever you can put something in tableau, you can take it. Now, you don't have to place it in the tableau if you don't want to. You can actually take it in your hand, which I will do. You'll see how that works. Okay, I still have 4 cards. Hearts. For the heart temple, I also need to go from top to lower. I think I'm gonna take that card also. And then we have a 4th one. Those are spades. For the spades, I need to go from lowest to highest. I think I'm gonna discard that. And 1 more. Oh, here's another that I can actually I'm gonna place this. So I'm building my diamond tableau. I already have 2 out of 5 cards to open this temple. And then when I open temple, I can start collecting treasure. But I also have to discover terrain to make a little path to the temple to be able to do this action and collect treasures. So as you can see, when the temple is open, if I use any 6, I can collect 1 treasure. If I use 2 6s, I can collect 2 treasure cards. So basically I need to make a path to the temple, open it with these temple key cards, and then, get as much treasure as I can, because as you know I need 120 points. That's not gonna, it's gonna be hard to do. Alright, I still have one more dice, but here's the thing. These cards that I took into my hand can be used to either buy more dice, so I can spend one card to buy one dice and you immediately roll it and do, or well, I already done my reroll, so it's kind of pointless. But another thing I can do with my cards, I can spend two cards to take one card from the discard pile and place it in my tableau. Well, I don't want to do that. I'm actually keep this. I'm gonna keep these cards. Those are like my resources for later, so I can do something with them. Alright, I have a 1, and that's not really good. Well, I guess I can explore some jungle, because this is any dice value. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna explore jungle. As you remember, I only can draw here, here, or on the bottom. I think I'm gonna draw one jungle here. So let's say this is a jungle. Immediately it's explored. And now I can draw a card, but I am only looking for the clubs. So let's see. It's not a club, and so I can't take it. I have to discard it. Okay, and that was one round. So let's go to the second round. You just roll a dice. Alright, so the event's gonna move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna land on the river. Well, this means I can draw a river anywhere on the map if I choose to do this event. I can always cancel and take the dice instead. I'm gonna actually choose to do it. And I'm gonna draw a river. I'm gonna draw, well, I can only draw it here. So I'm gonna draw the river here or here. So I'm gonna draw the river here. So the river is explored, and I can take one card, or because the river is explored, or I can spend a dice. Well, this one is gone, to draw more cards. I think I'm gonna spend 2 to draw 2 cards, and as you can see, rivers, I need diamonds. I need rivers, basically. The more rivers I explore, the more diamonds card I might find. So let's see. 1, that's a heart. I can't use a heart. And a spade. Now this card stays face up, so you know what's used, and of course you can buy them later if you want to. Alright, so I didn't get any clues for the temple, basically, so that was not good for me. Now I have a 1 and I have a 4, so let's think about that. Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna show you how can you move on this track also. So I'm gonna use 1 to move myself on this track. I'm gonna land on the jungle. So again, I can draw jungle anywhere I want. As I said, when you moving on this track, these terrain types can be drawn anywhere, so you are not limited by where you actually are. So let's say I'm gonna draw one jungle here. Actually, no, not there. Well, let's put one. Well, I'm building a pad, so let's put one here. Yeah. And as always, the moment you put the jungle, you're gonna mark it here. I already have 2 out of 6, and I can draw 1 card. You can always draw 1 card for the jungle, or I can use 4 and draw 4 cards if I want to really look for the clubs. And we don't have any clubs here, so maybe I want to do that. No, I'm just gonna draw 1. It's a spade, can't use it anyway. Alright, now I'm thinking to use my 2 cards as a resources and buy some dice and then roll them. So let's see, let's hope I'm gonna get something good. Okay, 3 and a 4. So time is to show you how you move on this little map. So now I have some spaces where I can move with my pawn. So I'm gonna spend let me think. I'm gonna spend these 3, so I can move 3 spaces. or up to 3 spaces. So I can move 1 or maybe 2 or 1, 2, 3. The thing is I can only move like orthogonally. There is no diagonal movement. So I'm gonna spend these 3, maybe it is a waste, but I'm gonna move onto the jungle. Now when I'm on the jungle, I can do some location actions. As you can see, when I'm on the jungle and I spend a dice that is 3 or higher, I can collect some butterflies. So I have 2 dice I can use. So I'm gonna spend a 4 on the jungle and collect 1 butterfly. Here it is. And then let me do I want another butterfly? Or no, I don't want to move here. So I can collect another butterfly if I spend another 4, or I can use this 4, as you can see, to open up some mountains. Once I open up the mountains, I will have a location where I can do a mountain action later. So for instance, when I'm on the mountain and I use a 5, I can draw lake, mountain, jungle, or village anywhere on the map. So basically, like you're standing on the mountain and you're looking around. That could be huge. Or yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna collect another butterfly. I'm just gonna spend this 4 and I'm gonna find a mountain. So let's see, I have to draw it here, 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 or here. Remember, also I can place it on the campsite. I think I'm gonna draw actually a mountain here beside my campsite. So there's 1 mountain explored, and now I can always draw 1 card looking for spades. Let's see, no spades there, sadly. Alright, and the game will progress like this. Let's do 1 more round and I'm gonna explain some more stuff. Let's see what will happen. Alright, 5. So this will move 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another of those vines. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna use my lucky charm. I'm gonna cancel that event and get this 5. So because event didn't happen, I get the vine. I get the dice. So I have some dice now to use. And it's actually quite good because if I use these dice to move, let me think. I'm gonna use this 1 dice, or no. No, I'm gonna show you how the mountain works. So I'm gonna use 1 dice to move 1 space, then I'm gonna use another dice to move 1 more space. Then I'm gonna use a 5 because to activate the mountain effect you need to stand on the mountain and you need a 5 or more. I have a 5, so now I can draw any of these terrains, river, mountain, jungle, or the village, anywhere where I want. Well, I'm gonna draw 1 village here. So here is a village, and I just explored the village. And as always, the moment you explore, I can draw 1 card, or I can draw 5 cards if I want to, looking for the hearts. And let's see what's already there. I have a 9 of heart, 4 of heart. For the hearts, you need to go from the highest to lowest card. So too bad the 9 is already there. Well, no, I'm just gonna draw 1 card. Let's see. It's not a heart anyway. Well, now I'm gonna use the mountain, or should I? You know what? No, I'm not gonna use another mountain. I'm gonna actually use I'm gonna draw another village. Oh, but no, I don't want to draw it here. Tough decisions. I think I'm gonna use the mountain ability again. Or let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I can draw another mountain if I move up to here. I can place it anywhere I want. Do I want to explore on more mountains? There are 60 points. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna use this 5 to move on the event track. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can draw a mountain anywhere I want, and I am actually gonna draw it. I'm not gonna draw it here. Here's the one mountain. All right, the mountain explored, and I can now draw one card looking for spades. Let's see. It's not a spade, sadly. Now, why did I draw the mountain here? Well, whatever you draw on this special, like a sacred place, it's gonna be like something you really want to go for. Because if I manage to fill this track, and by the way, yeah, that's the second mountain. If I manage to fill this track and get 4 more mountains, I'm gonna get 16 points. But if the mountains are really sacred now, instead of 16, I'm gonna get double of that. So I'm gonna multiply by 2. So I'm gonna get 32 points. And that's a large amount of points. So now, since I draw a mountain here, I actually want to explore as all the mountains and get all these points. Alright, so I'm gonna explain the rest of the stuff. You already see how the game works. So what you can do, these actions here. As you can see, if I have a terrain with a sacred stone, I can use a 6, and I can cancel one of these events forever. So for instance, one of that type. So these earthquakes, I can like scratch all of them. So next time the dice, the cube lands here, I'm just gonna take a dice because the event can't happen, and no more earthquakes. And by the way, let me explain all of these icons and what they do, these event icons. So for instance, terrains just give you option to draw terrain whenever you want. Now the vines gonna make one space unpassable. You can't move onto it, you can't use it, it's just, you know, wasted space. The elephants are actually interesting. If they're gonna charge down the row or the column. So like if I'm standing here and this elephant actually activates, he's gonna topple me and I'm gonna lose 1 heart. The moment you lose 3 heart, the game is over, and then you're gonna check did you do your goals. If you didn't, well, too bad, you lost the game. The volcanoes, you will have to draw a volcano somewhere on the map, and then later, if the black cube lands on the icon with the active volcano, any orthogonal space around the volcano will be destroyed. So volcanoes are really bad, and if you have multiple volcanoes, you're gonna lose lots of these terrains. Now you're not gonna lose the progress, just an ability to stand on the terrain and do these actions. Well, and because depending where the terrain is and how it's drawn, you can get lots of points. Now let's see what we else have. The bird is gonna allow you to teleport anywhere on the map where you have a terrain. So for instance, from here I can go up to here if the event lands on the bird. So not all the events are bad, there are also some goods. The curse, with the curse you will have to scratch one of the highest, the rightmost boxes in this. So for instance, if I scratch here, I will never get 12 points now. Okay, so I will probably, with the curse, I will probably want to scratch some of the butterflies because I get 3 points for each collection of 3. And yeah, sometimes you just don't have a choice and you have to scratch one of these. That's what the curse does. The earthquake, with the earthquake you will have to completely destroy one terrain, same as the volcano, but in the case of earthquake you can actually choose. With the volcano the earthquake are not that bad, so you're just gonna have one terrain completely destroyed. You can still move onto it, but you can't use it. Let's see what else. Well, that's basically all these icons. Now about the actions. On the river, if you use 5 or more, you can collect one of these gold nuggets here. First are like 2, then they rise exponentially, so the more you get, you can actually get more points. Butterflies, as I said, each collection of 3 is going to give you 3 points. They don't work much, but they are easiest to collect. This thing allows you to draw anywhere the map, these 4 type of terrains. If you have a village, you can spend 2 dice of any value to get 1 card from this collection here and place it as a wild. So for instance, I can take this, flip it, and now it is 7. So that's the easiest way to build these tableaus, because once you get the wild, you know, you don't have to think about it, what you're gonna draw from this. So you probably would be a good thing to draw as many of these villages and then, you know, land on them and use the ability. Now there is a rule that depending where you're starting from, so for instance, if I'm starting on the mountain, I can't use the mountain action that round. So even if I can get to the another mountain using a dice movement, like if I get to this mountain somehow, I still can't use the mountain. So I can use any other terrain actions except the mountains if I'm starting on the mountain. So there is no like just standing on one space and doing the same action all of as much as you want. I already explained the last action. When you open up the temple, you first have to have a connection from your campsite to the temple. So I will probably have to have maybe something like this. So now I can go, see, I can go up to the temple, and temple must be open. As I said, you need 5 cards of that suit following this rule. So the moment you open temple, you're just gonna circle it, you're gonna get 5 points for that, and then you can start collecting treasure. Of course, you need 6s and the open temple to collect as much treasure you can. Once you empty the temple, let's say I managed to get this, these are all my points and the end of the game. Alright, and there are some scoring for the different types of terrain. So let me delete this and explain that. So, for every large river, and that's the river that is going from, basically if you make a river connecting complete column or a row, maybe something like this. So that is a large river. See? You get 2 points for every space that is going like from top to the bottom or from left to the right or whatever, completing one row. So that would be, because there are 7 spaces, this is like 14 points. So connecting rivers can give you lots of points. The another way with the terrain you can score points is the villages. So for instance, if I'm building a village and it is adjacent, each village is adjacent, it's building one large village. For each 3 or more, I can score points. So for instance, if I have a village that is 3 or more, I get 2 points for each house. So this is like 6 points. But if I have like even larger village, something like this is one large village. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 10 points. And you can have like multiple of these villages. So like, let's say I have a one here. So here's a 10 points, here's a 6 points. So you can score lots with the villages. Mountains. Now, if I have a mountain that is surrounded with different types of terrain, so let's say I have a river here, a jungle, another river, maybe another mountain, maybe a sacred stone, maybe a village here, and another jungle. So now this mountain is completely surrounded, and then I count how many different type of terrain I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would score 5 points for each mountain I build like this. So as you can see, there are lots of going on. Another thing are these sacred stones. So if I have a 2 sacred stones in the same row or column, let's say something like this. So for each sacred stone that is in the same row, that have like a line of sight to them, so this doesn't count because you have they are not connected in the row or the column. For every that is connected, I get 5 points. So this is 5 and 5 because these two are connected. This is 5 and 5, but this is not connected. Okay, they can't be connected like that. So I would, in this case, I would score 50 points. So sacred stones give you this, river give you that. Jungles don't give you anything. That's just like plain terrain. And in the end of the game, uh, also this deck's gonna be shut down. So eventually you would lose all the cards. They will either be here or someone's gonna be in your tableau. Once you have to reshuffle to draw new cards, you're gonna take 1 damage. So you're gonna lose 1 heart. So this deck is like your timer, how much the game's gonna last. Also, as I said, you can take some damage from elephants. You know, they're gonna run around, and if you are on their path, you're gonna take a damage. Another thing you can take damage is if you are in front of the event cube and the event cube lands on you. You're gonna immediately lose a heart also. And of course, if you are close to the volcano and it erupts and you are standing on the volcano that's going to erupt, or any space like that's going to be like covered with lava, you're also going to take 1 damage. So yeah, the once you lose all your 3 hearts, the game ends, and then you're going to check did you manage to do any goals. And as you can see, there are lots of things that you can go for depending of these 3 cards that you draw in the beginning of the round. So for instance, as I said, I had to fill the village track, and I didn't during my run to do that much. I only find out 1 village. I need to open 1 temple, which is quite easy, and but this one where I need to score at least 120 points, well, for that I would probably had to work really hard and think through. So yeah, this is the really crunchy game. I mean, it's a roll and write, but there are lots of things going on here on this 1 page, and with the cards and the dice you can use. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna probably post this on BGG on the thread, because this is actually made for the contest, for the 1 page contest, and then I need to write my rule book and explain this even better. So, but this can give you an idea how to play the game and what's going on in it. So yeah, thanks again, and see you next time. Bye.